Well, good evening, everyone. This is our May 6th Town Council meeting, and we have a special event for tonight. We're going to have a swearing-in ceremony that we're going to start before we even call the meeting to order. So I'm going to have the Clerk of Council come up, along with Lily Konopka. She is going to be sworn in as the mayor of the town of Haymarket.
Incumbent upon me as the mayor of the town of Haymarket. According to the best of my ability.
Well, welcome to the seat. So there again, good evening. This is our regular scheduled town council meeting for May 6th, and we have Honorable Mayor Lily Konopka presiding over our chair here. So I'll let her go ahead and start with the action items that we have. Sure.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming today this is our May 6th regular town council meeting, and could I please have the clerk call the roll?
Shannon.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Anthony.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Kanapka.
Here.
Edwards. Here. Devasas. Day.
Here. All right, great.
Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
And just to announce, too, I think we have some members from the Girl Scout Troop 90016. We have Ashley, Charlotte, Magna, Trista, Riley, Olivia, Amelia, and Emily here to help.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful job, girls. Thank you. Sure.
For the next item on the agenda, could I please have Pastor Don Meeks come up and give the invocation for tonight's meeting?
Thank you, Mayor Konopka. It's an honor to offer prayer for you all as you engage in the important work of serving the citizens in town of Haymarket. Let us pray. Gracious God, we come before you with gratitude, humility, and trust this night. We are grateful for the freedoms we enjoy every day, humbled by your daily care and provision, and trusting of your promise to guide the affairs of all nations and this great nation. We pray today for the brave men and women who serve to protect and defend our nation in the armed forces, and for those who serve to protect our local communities in law enforcement and fire and rescue. Merciful God, be close to all who find themselves in harm's way today. As this body convenes to serve the citizens and businesses, neighborhoods, and Haymarket, we ask for your kind providence to be made known through the discussions and decisions set before these, your servants. May each council person be guided by a spirit of compassion, justice, and humility. May they exercise faithful stewardship of the community resources entrusted to their care, and watch over their families and loved ones this day, and protect them from the discouragement, the pride, and the weariness of soul that often accompanies the mantle of responsibility. And so strengthen us all in heart, hand, and mind, that your will may be done on earth as it is in heaven. And we ask this in the strength of your loving name. Amen.
Okay, our next item on the agenda here, we have to invite Sandra Harrington, and she's from the Virginia Municipal League, to present the Regional 5 winner of If I Were a Mayor essay contest. I think you have your plaque and everything, so I didn't know if you wanted to say a little bit about the essay and just the contest itself, and then I know the mayor, she would like to speak as well.
Awesome, great, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Sandy Harrington. I'm the Government Relations Associate with the Virginia Municipal League, and every year we sponsor a contest for middle school aged kids, really as part of our focus on civic education. And this year we had over 1,000 entries all over the state of Virginia, which is broken into 8 regions. We have a statewide winner and then regional winners. Pretty much the process is we divide them up amongst staff and also our executive committee, which is made up of council members and mayors around the state of Virginia. And we went through that process of arm wrestling until we came up with the winners. And I was fortunate also to have Region 5 from the very beginning, so I was pretty excited that we had a winner out of the batch that I had originally selected. So thank you for your good work, and congratulations to the town of Haymarket and the Prince William County community for having a winner in the If I Were a Mayor contest. And I
Great.
have,
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and come up and we'll present you with the plaque here. Go left here a little bit. Okay.
Going? Good? Okay. So this plaque is presented to Lily Kanupka. Did I say it right? Close enough. It reads, Virginia Municipal League If I Were Mayor Contest, Regional Award presented to Lily K. Mom said I could say that. From Ronald Reagan Middle School, this day, May 6, 2019, in Haymarket, Virginia. It's signed by our Virginia Municipal League President and the employees, and also the Executive Director of the League, Michelle Gowdy. And on the back, the most important part is a check. The winners also receive a $150 check.
Now for our photographs.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of this is great. All right, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And now, I think I would love for you to read your essay to show why you were picked out of over 1,000 students to win this.
If I were mayor for a day. Being a mayor is hard work. You must juggle many tasks, such as keeping your city clean, balancing a budget, and dealing with people who all would like something different. I love my town of Haymarket, but it's not always perfect. There are a couple of things that might need a little changing. If I was appointed as mayor, I would start by trying to improve our school system. As students get older, school is no longer fun. It turns into more work and no play. I would like to find a way to make classrooms more interesting so that students are actively engaged and they learn more. This is important because the older you get, the more your grades and work ethic will matter for your future. So, by keeping students social and engaged, we can help provide them for a better future. The second thing I would do if I were mayor would be to try and do something involving our community, such as a farmer's market or a community garden. In doing this, more people in our community can also be involved. This would be a great way to introduce healthy, fresh foods back into people's lives. This is important because just being outside and around other people can help make a friendlier community and provide many people with a good way to spend their day. My third order of action as mayor would be to help clean up our community. Our town is not a dirty town by any means, but it always could be cleaner. I would try to start a committee of people dedicated to keeping our streets cleaner and also try to find a way to reward those who do the most. This is important because keeping our community clean is a good way to give back to the environment and fight against pollution. The fourth and final thing I would try to do as mayor for a day is to open more bike paths, parks, pools, lakes, and ponds. Providing a way for people to spend time outside is a good way to get them to do so. Just walking for 30 minutes every day is known to decrease risks of many diseases, and it helps relax the mind. It is also a great way to get the exercise most people don't get from sitting in school and work all day. People can also spend more time with family to friends and develop new relationships with people by going to a common area like a lake or pool. This is important because I feel like most people in my town, especially students, don't spend enough time outside as they should. By making these changes, I hope to have made Haymarket a better, cleaner, and smarter town. I hope I gave more people opportunities to make our town, environment, and community a better place. I also hope I am reelected next year.
There you go. More importantly, that's right. That was excellent, absolutely excellent. So you have some ideas, and we would love to hear them.
So I
Yeah.
made stuff.
Oh, look at you, very prepared, thank you.
Prepared.
Yeah, I think I'm in trouble. When did she turn 18?
I wanted to try and do a project that would help benefit the people of our community. So my idea was to try and involve an organization that would directly help our community in many ways. So my idea was to get involved with the Mother's Home that is located in downtown Haymarket, carried to full term, and try to find a way to help them out. The idea I eventually reached was to try and get kids from my school, Ronald Reagan Middle School, to do babysitting for them for free, so that they could get free help at the Mother's Home and also involve kids at our school with volunteering. So what my proposition for the town council is to get $3,500 to provide babysitting and CPR training for the kids in our community who would like to help, and also, if we have any money left over, to go directly to donating to the Mother's Home in Haymarket.
Okay, wow, that sounds great. What a neat thing to do.
So. Where's my-
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, so,
what do you think? Yeah, so let's go around the dice here. So to my understanding, so it would be like a $3,500 contribution
yes.
that
to-
would then pay for,
CPR training and babysitting classes for kids at my school who would like to dedicate their time to helping to babysit the mothers at the home, because the Mother's Home needs babysitting time so the mothers can go out to try and get jobs and work to provide themselves with a better future for them and their children.
okay, right. And so the CPR training would be done here locally, I would assume?
Yes, the Red Cross has classes in Gainesville.
Okay, so we'd be actually making the donations to them, or is that how?
The donations would help pay for the classes, so
Okay.
that because the classes for babysitting are $95 a piece for a person and $80 for CPR training. And I estimate about 20 kids would like to do it. That would be in total $3,500.
Right, okay, all right. So let's go around the dais. This is how it works. So obviously, you have your idea there, and we'll see what other inputs from.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Vice Mayor.
I like the idea. My only thing is, we set our budget
Right.
in advance, so unless there are discretionary funds that are out there. I mean, I don't,
That's where we kind of look to the guy
Yeah,
with the
I look-
glasses over. He's the
he's,
treasurer.
he's the money
Yeah,
guy over
he's-
there.
He's like the banker that kind of keeps us in line here, yeah. So,
So that would be my concern, is to see if there were any funds available.
Yep.
As well as what our policy is for
contributions.
contributions.
Which we do have one.
We do have one.
Yes,
But I just
correct.
can't remember off the top of my head what the limit is and all of those things, so.
Okay, sure, those are all good concerns here. To my, apologies, I jump in. Any thoughts?
Yeah, concur with Vice Mayor Susan and David.
Okay,
No,
Mayor, I think that'd be a great idea. I think I would agree with Vice Mayor in regards to reviewing the policy to see if it would be something that we're allowed to give to, and obviously we've given to 501(c)(3)s before, but also making sure that we have the funds. I believe we've gotten rid of our discretionary fund for such things, but as we're going through the budget season, which we're in now, that doesn't mean that it's not too late to add a line item in, as long as we can continue to work with a balanced budget. But obviously, at this point, it's just moving money around from one line item to another before we go about adopting it.
Okay. Councilman Shannon.
Lady Mayor, welcome to the dais and great ideas. Obviously, budget isn't just that easy to do, so the Vice Mayor and Councilman Leak here, I have the same comments, but I want to thank you for thinking outside the box. When I was like 9 years old, I had a lot of nieces and nephews younger than me, and I would just I was the babysitter. And so I just give them candy and stuff, and they learn. Well, nowadays you don't do, well, I do that with my grandbabies. I get, okay, I know I do. But thanks for thinking outside the box. I love our youth. You're a shining, bright light. And probably got a good future in politics, too, so.
Absolutely. And I was going to try to bring up, but we're given the powers that Richmond gives us. So back in 1799, the town was chartered, and they gave us these chartered powers that allow us to function as a government. And in there, I think is going to be an important little phrase there that I think you're going to be able to hit a soft spot here. And that is that, and I'd have to look it up, the exact wording, but that we're really chartered to take care of the aged, the sick, the paupers, the children. So knowing that that was our intent some 200 plus years ago, I think that we have a good shot of making this happen. We'll have to look and see as far as our budget, which line item that we can take that from. And then we can even think creatively too, because there is other ways, I believe, to come up with funds other than taking them from a line item.
I am also meeting with the leader of this organization tomorrow to discuss ideas involving this project too.
Sure.
So.
And there again, we have a policy procedure. Maybe we're going to go back to that and look and see what our procedure, because we always want to make sure we follow our policy here that we already set up. Matter of fact, it was either Bull or Ronald Reagan, I'm not sure, but we sponsored the Archers, and that was the first.
That was Reagan. Yeah.
Yes. So that was the first time that we actually helped out, and we had presentations from different organizations, STEM, I believe, as well.
STEM.
And so they presented, and so then we saw this, for some, they thought it was just going to be all these people doing it every month or whatever, but it hasn't been that way.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we actually have given to any organization or had a presentation. So I think this is an excellent idea, an excellent project. We just need to get you over the finish line on how to do this. Yes,
And
I'm
also
sorry.
a suggestion, if we contact the Red Cross and the, whoever offers the babysitting
Yes, that
class.
was the Red Cross for both
It was
of them.
for both
Yes.
of them, and share with them your purpose for doing this. They might give a discounted rate as well.
Right, since maybe we could do the training all at one time.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, they could say no, but
Yeah.
never hurts to ask.
Yeah. I think I'm not mistaken, but I think we have at least a pulse of the council that they're all in support of this idea. I'm not sure how we can make an ad hoc resolution to the fact. That's where we're going to refer to our attorney.
Mayor, what I would recommend is that you refer this matter to staff to make a report to you and a recommendation with regard to future funding for this
Okay,
at your June meeting.
there we go. That'd be great. Okay. Well, great idea. Super.
Thank you very much.
Yep, absolutely. Did you have any more to say about this?
Nope, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that about covered it.
Great. Okay. We'll move on to our agenda then. So we did the Flags for Heroes presentation, I think would be up next, right? So, screen. I'm sorry. Robert, could you just push the button down? On the side left. Looks like a light switch. he's good too.
Good evening, Lady Mayor, Town Council, citizens of Haymarket. Thanks for allowing me time to speak tonight. My name is Chris Albright. I'm the club president for the Gainesville Haymarket Rotary Club, and we are in full swing in preparation for our second annual Flags for Heroes event. It will be held on June 15th here in the town of Haymarket. Last year we held it on Memorial Day. It was a tremendous event. We sold approximately 60 flags, I believe, to contribute to the donations for our organization, as well as the Separate Canine organization. This year we're aiming to shoot to sell at least 100 flags, if not more. And I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you have a hero? How many of you know a teacher, somebody in law enforcement, a first responder, a grandparent, a parent, a military, a veteran, grandfather, grandmother, somebody in a club you're in, somebody that took charge of something that happened in your life, somebody that you want to recognize? How often do you get a chance to say thank you to that person? How often do you wish you would have said thank you that person's already passed? What we do in this event is we give you a chance to recognize that person in a way that brings attention to the community so they can see who you're honoring. We put a marker on every flag that's purchased to sponsor and honor a hero in our town. It could be in the country, it could be anywhere in the world. As you can see, it's right there in the middle of the town there in the park. We had a tremendous turnout. I think there was probably 80 people that showed up. I mean, it was a pretty large group. The flags individually are only $50. Like I said, the money goes to organizations that have a tremendous impact in our community with veterans. Right here we have a gentleman singing the national anthem. I believe he's on schedule this year as well, or is somebody else? Okay, so we have another. So Flags for Heroes, supporting Semper Canine. How many of you are familiar with that organization and what their mission is? Great organization, and this is a great way, like I said, to recognize your heroes in your life and our town. So what I would like to do is invite all of you to at least consider attending the event. More importantly, I would like to ask you to consider sponsoring a hero that you have in your life, or talking to somebody that you know that might have a hero that they would like to recognize. And if you have any questions about how to do so, we have a website, it's ghrotary.org. All the information is there, so you can purchase a flag through that, or you can come visit us on Wednesday mornings, Piedmont Club, for our Rotary meetings. You can talk to any of the members in the club, and they can help you to get a flag so that you can recognize your hero. Like I said, Flag Day is an under-celebrated holiday, and we were on Memorial Day last year. It was a great event. People were out of town, so we had, I feel, less than maximum participation. Flag Day is a great day to do Flags for Heroes. Flag Day is June 14th. We'll be out there Saturday morning on June 15th to celebrate these heroes in our community. Any questions on the event itself for me? Any questions on how to find out how to purchase a flag or sponsor a hero? Okay. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, Robert?
Robert, that falls in under other duties as assigned as a councilman. You got the power of the switch there.
The next item is the approval of the minutes from the March 25th and April 1st work session and the April 1st regular meeting, page 2 to 9 of our packet.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the work session, March 25th, 2019, the work session, April 1st, 2019, and the mayor and council regular meeting, April 1st, 2019.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is our department reporters, and we're on page 10 of our packet.
Yes.
Good evening, Mayor Kanopka, Mayor Leek, members of council. It's been another exciting, busy month here in the town. Let me start off right here in the council chambers. Our newest artists are from the Haymarket Baptist Church Preschool and Kindergarten. It's their art enrichment class. So far, the schools that have been featured in our display have been Mountain View, Tyler, Haymarket, Buckland Mills, and Albee. And next up, next month, will be Gravely Elementary School. Over here, we've added our mission statement and our vision statement as well as our core values back to the walls, on the walls again, with our matted and framed. They used to be up behind the dais in the vinyl lettering, so we matted and framed them. I think they turned out did a nice job. I think they turned out really nice. And due to the hardworking staff here, along with also our admin assistant, Jackie Patrick, all of the approved items from the April agenda have been completed or in the midst of being completed. Our crepe myrtles have been planted. Our town buildings have been painted. And the computers for the dais have been ordered. I'm continuing working with an electrical contractor on updating the street lights. The patchwork work has been completed in the town center parking lot, and we should have that sealed and striped shortly. We recently leased over 2,000 square feet of office space upstairs. I'm continuing to work with the Prince William Tourism Department and Fox 5 News for the upcoming Zip Trip, which will be broadcast live from Haymarket on May 31st. The public is welcome and encouraged to join us. It's from 6 to 11 a.m. They'll be shooting a short commercial tomorrow at 1:30 in front of the museum. Our town planner and our admin assistant have been working really hard on the Haymarket Day applications. They're coming in so quickly, and it's been a great response. They did send the vendor packets out to those who participated last year first and give them an opportunity to sign up, and they were really appreciative of that as well. To date, we have $13,500 in sponsorships. The town planner is also working on several site plans that have come in, and she's also working with the new featured artist at the museum, Miss Lynn Lambert. She's a watercolorist. The town treasurer has updated real estate information on the town system versus the county's assessment records, and assisted with the leasing of the upstairs offices, and has assisted with the town businesses and business licenses renewals with our admin assistant. Of course, progress across the street, I think any day now. We'll see some work and some progress over there. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay. Any questions? So our next one, I guess, would be our police department, Chief Lance.
Could you hit the screen one more time? We're going to try to load a video to show you in a minute, but looks like it's having some trouble downloading.
I didn't realize you had one too.
Yeah, sorry. But this is a last minute thing. But it's having some trouble. It may buffer, so we may not be able to get through it all. But good evening, council. Is there any questions on the statistics for the month? Okay. First item on the agenda is the K9 for a Day program. This is a program that is encapsulated in our Haymarket Cares initiative that the police department's doing this year, where we're trying to partner with businesses in the town to have them assist us help other people. This month we launched the K9 for a Day program, where we partnered with Prince William County Animal Shelter. Several of our officers were trained on how to handle the animals. They gave us cages, and we took an animal that needed adoption. His name was Gollum. We just had him on Tuesday, I believe, of this week, and he rode with Officer Davis for the day. We took him in and out of businesses and walked him through neighborhoods, and I am happy to say or share with you guys that he was adopted the next day. So we have a 100% success rate at this point. Our plan is to do, maybe one a month, maybe two a month. We'll see whatever the shelter can come up with it for us. We're only taking animals that are, non-dangerous, that they've worked with, that they know are good with kids and families and other pets and dogs. So we're just trying to highlight the animal and get them adopted. So it worked out great this past week. Also, the week before that was National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Our dispatchers work very hard. They are our ears before the eyes arrive. That's the backbone of our department, and they're the first ones that take the 911 calls, the first ones that you talk to when you're in danger and call us. We'd like to recognize them. 2 weeks ago was their week, and it was in the month of April. We brought them some treats, and we'd like to say thank you to them for everything that they do for us. Also this past month, I met with the Greater Prince William Crisis Intervention Coalition. Currently, we are not part of them. We are being voted on at the next meeting to become part of them. Crisis Intervention Training, or CIT, is something that we will be at 100% compliance with every one of our officers before the end of July. And that's just teaching our officers how to better deal with individuals in crisis who are having mental breaks, where we can help them, we know we can understand better what they're going through so that we can help them better ourselves. We also attended the Goddard School, where Officer Davis and Officer O'Neill read to the kids. They climbed all in and out of the police cars and had a great time. We had a problem this past month with Chick-fil-A on Friday nights. We had an issue with several groups of juveniles that would go to the hockey games and then come and flood Chick-fil-A. And the manager came and met with us, said that they were causing a lot of problems, a lot of property damage. They were being loud, cursing, hanging on poles and street signs. So we met with the owner. We had the owner tell his employees that we needed phone calls immediately when they saw something happening. I also took the initiative to assign 2 Friday nights in a row, one officer to the area of Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, just to keep an eye on everything that was going on. And then we passed out flyers at the skating rink and got with parents and put it on Facebook. And I'm happy to say that we haven't had any issues since then. A lot of parents actually jumped on Facebook and said that they were unaware of this, but that they were going to come out themselves and police their kids, and other adults that didn't even have kids there were going to come out and call us if they needed us. So it's been squashed for now, but we'll see what happens in the future. If need be, I will assign more officer patrols there, and the on-duty officer is making frequent passes through there and just going in and standing by, but I'm happy to report that we feel like we've got that under control at this time. Ethan also did a ride along with us this past month when he was out for spring break. He had a great time. He put Officer O'Neill in the passenger seat for a quick video, and he had a really good time. He rode with us for about 3 hours before he got tired, and then we took him home.
If you can also explain about Ethan, just for those that are not aware who Ethan is.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
So Ethan is a little boy in our town that has been diagnosed with leukemia. His dream was to be a police officer, and so about 4 or 5 months ago, the town made him an honorary police officer. And so from time to time, when he feels the strength, he will ride with us and hang with us for the day. We go out for ice cream, and we introduce him to all the business owners. And he's become a valued part of our department, and we love him. So whenever he gets a chance to come, we'd like to get him out. So. Officer Davis also participated in the Battle of the Beasts this year over at Next Level Fitness. We had police officers from all the departments in the area participate in a strength competition, and Officer Davis did that for us, and he did a great job. So the last thing I have is we want to talk about ODMR. I know that we had a motorcycle event in town to honor the fallen officers and to raise money for their families. What I'd like to do is, if it looks like we haven't loaded very far on here, but we're going to try it. And we'll go as far as it'll go, just to introduce you to the video that Frank made for the event. And then after that, we actually have the organizer here, Meg, from ODMR. She'll come up to the podium and give you a brief presentation of how it went.
Good evening. So that was a pretty awesome video that Frank did. I'd love to give him a thank you and a shout out. My name is Meg Hawkins, and I'm the founder of the Officer Down Memorial Ride. I've spoken to you before about it. It's also known as ODMR. I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. ODMR benefits the Officer Down Memorial Page, which is a national nonprofit organization based in Fairfax, Virginia, that honors the memories and sacrifices of more than 23,000 law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty in our nation's history. This year's ride, the 8th annual, was a huge success. We had over 750 motorcyclists and around 1,000 people come to enjoy the day and support our cause. Over $54,000 was raised for the Officer Down Memorial Page. We are incredibly grateful for the town and the police department's support. I would like to specifically give thanks to many of your community members, Sean Landry, Corey O'Neill, Eric Provo, the QBE Foundation, and many of the other volunteers who worked tirelessly alongside me to make sure this event was a success. The mayor even stepped up and helped with trash duty that day.
That's correct. Yeah.
We appreciate that. We look forward to hosting ODMR again next year here in the town of Haymarket. So please mark your calendars for the 9th annual ODMR, which will be held on Saturday, April 25th, 2020, if you'll have us back. Next week, on May 15th, is National Peace Officers Memorial Day. Take a moment to remember and honor the 23,715 fallen law enforcement officers. And let this quote ruminate in your minds and hearts. It is not how these officers died that made them heroes. It's how they lived. Thank you.
And thank you.
So from the police department side, it was an outstanding success. We didn't have any noise complaints, no parking complaints. Everything went great. We couldn't be happier with it. We're looking forward to next year's event, and we will give Meg and her team all the support that we can. So that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions or comments for me?
I had an issue.
The wind.
The wind. My grandbaby shows up for the bouncy house, and she says, "Papa, the bouncy house is broken," because it was never inflated. But I was talking to the mayor. We were talking about, everybody has probably seen these videos of these bouncy houses flying through the air with kids in them. Didn't want to take that chance. I just want to say thanks, because I've been a part of this ride with Meg from the start. Meg is a police officer in Fairfax County, and one of the best. And anyone that's heard me speak about law enforcement, I wear my color too. And I can't thank her enough, and just the support, Chief, with you and what your team did as well as all the volunteers, because it's a lot of volunteers. Meg starts working on next year's real soon, so it's kind of a year-round event. But Madam Mayor and Mr. Mayor, I will tell you, I think this was good for our town. The compliments that I know I received are heard over there. Were there some lessons learned? Sure there was. It'll be bigger and better next year, and that's going to be hard to top. Officer Meg Hawkins, thank you for organizing this and what you do. You are absolutely what we need to do these type of events, and your heart's in the right place, and I love you for it, and thank you.
Others like to say any words?
It was a great event. I mean, lots of people, a little too windy, but you can't do anything about that. But I think everyone had a good time. It was a little unnerving for me. As many of you know, my husband worked in Fairfax for years, and the guys who are riding now in Fairfax are the sons of the people that he rode with. So it was a little
And that he trained.
That he trained. So it was
was
a little unnerving for me, but it was great to see that carried on. So
One question for you, May. So if you had to do just a guesstimate of how many of those bikes and men and women were there that were actually law enforcement, is it like 50-50, or is it a higher percentage, or?
I'm going to guess over 50%, but then you have the law enforcement supporters, whether they're
Right.
fire, EMS, public safety, and military and veterans. So your town was the safest town in the country.
That's my
On
point, too.
April 27th. So.
We all
Yes.
had guns.
Yeah.
I mean,
There are probably more guns in that parking lot than it's ever been in the
Yeah.
entire town's history, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, that's great. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Any other questions for the chief?
No, I just want again to say thanks to Sean Landry, too, for stepping up because of where we've hosted this in the past. It could not have happened there.
No, that
And I
would
just want
never-
to thank Sean Landry for stepping up to the plate and volunteering this, because that was big.
Okay, so the next on the agenda, we did have a brief recess, but I think Mayor Lilly would like to continue on. You want to keep pushing? All right, great. So at this time, we'll go right directly
Good
to
decision.
citizens times. I didn't write that on your script there, but it's, we'll go ahead and open it up for citizens time. This will be anybody that would like to speak to the council. We just ask your name and address for the record, but with that, we'll go ahead and open it up for citizens time. Anyone?
Wow.
This never
Okay.
happens.
Yeah, this,
No.
this is like
Never
a,
happens.
we thank Pastor Meeks, I think, for his invocation there earlier. All right, I guess moving on, we do have, I'll let you go down, we have the Board of Zoning Appeals vacancy. So with that, I think we all have an insert that was a handout. And we have a draft motion here on the back, if anybody would like to,
Is this person here tonight?
yes, they would, and if you'd like to speak, sure.
This
Go ahead.
is Danielle?
Daniel, right.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't want to
Daniel.
put you on the
Okay,
spot,
I'm
but
sorry.
in case they had any questions, maybe
I-
if you just come up to Mike just for the record.
I know who he is now. I'm sorry I didn't place the name there.
Yeah.
But,
See him and his wife out walking a lot of times, and
yes, see him at Swirlies
I'm
and
Dan
other.
McGill, and the mayor asked me to support this, so I put my name in.
there you go.
That's about all there is.
I will say that he's a neighbor of ours, and he has the best interest of the community. He's always out there, he's at the events, he's doing all that stuff, and he really, the whole family loves Haymarket, and it's,
They're always here
Yeah.
at our meetings and
Always.
everything, and at events and stuff, so.
And
I-
kind of sets the line for our yard work, too, for the neighborhood. If you've never been by his house, he's, even when they've taken down some of the developer trees that came up in front, and they took a little heat, I believe, too, from some citizens because we took them down. But they restored the grass and lawn, I think, within weeks. It was like they had green growing there. So we thank you for
they
for
set a
really.
high standard.
Oh, my gosh, yes, yeah. We can get that color of green.
Would it be appropriate to say a little bit about what the Board of Zoning Appeals does, since we're
Sure.
doing a little
No,
bit of
absolutely.
civic
Education.
civic education tonight?
Sure.
The Board of Zoning Appeals has two main functions. As its name implies, it hears appeals from decisions of the zoning administrator. So if the zoning administrator issues a notice of zoning violation to somebody, they can, within 30 days, appeal that notice of violation and contest the claim that they are violating the zoning ordinance before the Board of Zoning Appeals. And if they're still not satisfied, they can take it to the circuit court. The other main thing that they do is issue variances. When the zoning ordinance is just a little bit too strict and provides an unreasonable hardship for a property owner because of the size of their lot or the shape of their lot, or maybe it slopes down to a creek and you can't really build on it under the terms of the zoning ordinance, they can issue a variance which allows for the development of that lot. So it's a very important function for all of our property owners to make sure that there is a safety valve. The zoning ordinance is applied in a way that doesn't destroy the value of property, and that allows people an opportunity to be heard if they don't agree that their property is being used in a way that's violating the zoning ordinance. So it's a very important committee, and it is appointed by the circuit court, but the town council makes recommendations to the circuit court, which the circuit court follows.
So there again, we would make the recommendation. It would then go to the circuit court. They would be appointed at that time.
Yes, sir.
And then when they meet, can you just explain that process, just so how it's totally?
Well, they meet, they have an organizational meeting, but they only meet when needed. So when there's an application, they get together and the staff puts together a presentation, the property owner puts together a presentation, and then they make a decision about what they're going to do on that basis.
Yep, great. Okay, so hopefully we didn't commit you to too much there.
Did you know what you were getting into?
It was in the application,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Okay. Susan, did you want to?
I move to recommend to the Circuit Court of Prince William County Daniel McGill to the Town of Haymarket Board of Zoning Appeals, term ending January 31st, 2020.
I second.
Any discussion?
And we're going to do something different. We're going to do a roll call vote, what they call. So instead of saying all yes or no, so you'll ask the clerk to please do a roll call, and she'll call out the names.
Please do a roll call.
Shannon?
Yes.
Yes.
Canty?
Yes.
Edwards?
Yes.
Day?
Yes.
All right, great. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. All right. Our next action item is our town decal ordinance, and we're on page 34 of our packet, but yet we've got probably a handout, because in our work session, we had some exceptions that were made that we wanted to add to there. So with this ordinance, we'll look for a motion to approve this new ordinance.
And that's with what we had, that we'd put in, that we had talked about.
Yes, sir. So, Mayor, the addition that we discussed and wrote up after the work session adds a new subparagraph E that says the town shall issue free license decals for all of the categories listed in Virginia Code Section 46.2-752A1 through 20. That includes honorably discharged members of the armed services and firefighters and a number of other categories, police officers as well. So that will capture all of the free licenses that are permissible to be issued under Virginia Code.
Okay, so we all understand that and know what we're voting on? Okay.
All right, do I have a motion?
Is the motion written?
The motion would be to approve the ordinance number 2019-0506-1.
The ordinance to amend section 4644?
Yes.
Yeah, then I make the motion to approve the ordinance to amend section 46-44 of the town code relating to motor vehicle license tax.
Second.
Discussion?
Do we need to add the ordinance number, Martin?
No, I think everybody's clear that we're voting on the ordinance with the amendment that I just recited.
Okay.
And approve or adopt would be the same language?
Yes.
Okay. So then,
Roll call? Oh,
Shannon?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Canty?
Yes.
Edwards?
Yes.
Day?
great. Okay, our next item here is our proposed meals tax increase. So at our last meeting, if you all remember right, we had this set aside. We were going to look, and because of the amount of notice that was going to be required, we could actually take this up at this meeting. So, and there again, with this, we realized that this is a worst case. If we decide when we adopt the budget that we're not going to have this, then after hearing public comment, this is just for the notice to the public that we were considering this proposal. I think it's a handout too, wasn't it, Ms. Shelley? Everybody's got a copy of that? But maybe before we start that, I wanted to see if there was any discussion regarding it before we look about, and this would be just to advertise for this proposed. Okay, apologies,
This is what the handout is. What you were
oh, great, okay.
That's this handout here?
That's something separate. that he wants
Okay.
to-
Yeah, so we're on page 36 of the packet, I'm sorry. There's the motion. And there is a sample motion on the bottom of page 36.
Yeah, and, so we ready for the motion?
Well, if there's any discussion about it, or
No,
I think we,
I think we talked about it quite a bit, and I'm anxious to hear, because we're going to have a public hearing on it. And, because I'll just speak for me, I'm not sure which way I'll go. I want to hear. from our public. So with that said, after we go through, I'll be glad to make the motion for the public hearing.
Madam Mayor, the way that I look at this one is we're looking to take this increase and utilize it towards taking on another debt to pay off a new debt service to get the building wrapped. I would like to reallocate that from that and go to something a little more aggressive. I think Councilman Day was thinking of a 5-year plan to reduce the real estate tax, and I think that may be a great idea. And I ran some numbers, and Councilman Day, if that was incorrect, I apologize. But the way that I look at it is taking this and getting aggressive with paying off our debt service prior to taking on a new note. We're looking at numbers from what we were talking about in regards to the real estate tax with just not equalizing the increase. Obviously, we'd be keeping our rate the same at 0.146 this year, but there would be an increase due to the assessment value of increase, which for everybody, assessment value increase is great because that always helps getting your house sold for more money. Obviously, you don't always like it because you're having to pay more in taxes, but at the end of the day, it shows how strong our economy is and showing that our housing market out here is continuing to grow. My projection would be to actually decrease the real estate tax this year to 0.126, which would be roughly a delta of about 35 to 40,000. That delta would be covered on two bases. Main basis there being that we would be increasing the meals tax this year. With an increase this year and what the trend is looking at with the new restaurants that are opening up, but two, our trend as well, because right now we budgeted $650,000, which was a decrease from the physical actual of 2018. We did 671. We budgeted 650 this year, but we're trending around 675. As we know, there's a lot of new restaurants that are coming into town. Eugene Sausage, that just recently opened up. We also have Zondra's, which signed a lease at the eastern side of town. And then we had a site plan, I believe, for a diner to come in off Route 15. With having these increases in restaurants coming in front of us, I feel that we'll easily be around the $700,000 mark come this year. Now, I went conservative and did 685, just being about a $10,000 increase over our 675 with that 1% increase there. And that would give us a net of about 181,000 more for our proposed 2020. Now, I know some folks will say, great, we have 181. We can put that towards our pretty much our closing costs as well as our first annual payment if we were to go ahead and move forward with our building project. But my take on it is let's get aggressive with our debt service that we currently have. Let's pay that off a bit faster, and then each year go ahead and decrease, if able to, by a set amount. The way that I did it was I decreased this year by 0.02, the next fiscal year 0.02, and then from there I went ahead and did it by 0.03, and that would pretty much put us by 2024. We would have no real estate tax, but at the same time, the offset of our meals tax would go ahead and offset that cost with the trend of what we're increasing at. Now, this also takes into consideration in year 2022, so 2022 to 2023 fiscal year, that would take into consideration the Meladon project being up, complete, and running. With that, we know that we have some fast food restaurants that have been approved in there. Fast food restaurants give you a little. So within my professional field, I do commercial real estate, and we deal with fast food restaurants all the time. So a fast food restaurant can run anywhere from about $3 to $5 million a year, depending on the brand and location. Obviously, not knowing what these ones do in here, but I know what the ones over in Gainesville do. And some higher-end fast food restaurants are around $4.5 to $5 million a year. So if you look at that and you say, okay, well, we have two restaurants that could go in there. Granted, we don't know what they are, so we go conservative and say that they're the $3 million side. I mean, you're talking about $1.20 per. Then we have some pad sites that could be physical restaurants, and obviously not knowing what the developer goes at, but knowing that they do have letter of intent signed for restaurants. I mean, look at a Bonefish. A Bonefish does about $3 million a year, and Great American restaurants, so Coastal Flats, Sweetwater, Jackson's, they do up around 10 to 12 million a year. So taking into effect that come that 2022 to 2023, we would have an increase in regards to what we're actually looking at in receiving and revenue from meals tax. I still think it would be able to be offset even without that, just with the new restaurants that are coming in. But I think that that would be a bigger game changer. But my take on it is I like the idea of adding in this meals tax. A lot of folks will come back, and restaurants will come back and say this is going to hurt me. But as we have to remember, in commercial leases, which are triple net leases, especially in these retail areas, one of those ends is real estate tax. They're getting the pass-through of the real estate tax from the landlord to themselves. So with that being said, this is actually a direct savings to them. They're just collecting the meals tax and passing the meals tax to us. But we're actually able to give them a direct savings because one of those three ends is real estate tax. And so by being able to decrease our real estate tax, yet now granted they're still going to have to pay the county, so their triple net's not going to just depreciate in completion, but we'll be able to do our side on our end to get that lower. And that, I mean, out here with our rates being what they are, I mean, you're probably looking anywhere from $4 to $7 a foot, depending on the location and what's the building actually assessed at and what prorated amount they're taking off from the building, whether it's including common area or if it's just their physical space. So we would be able to have a savings to these businesses, which is that direct savings money right back into their P&L and out of their overhead cost. And again, that meals tax is something that they're collecting and passing along to us. So I'm in favor of this. I'd like to go ahead and advertise it so we can speak more about it, also get the public's opinion, seeing what the public's take is. But my only take on it is I would like to reallocate the funds that would come from it and pay off our current debt service a little more aggressively before we go ahead and take on a new one. Or if someone has a good idea of how we can do both of them at the same time and be aggressive with paying down our debt service, but at the same time being able to decrease our real estate tax and pay for this project as well. Love to hear it, love to discuss it and and get educated on their idea and what their take is on it.
Okay. Just for clarification, the $120 is 120,000 is what you're referring to, the restaurants? I think you said $120, which...
Yes, sir. And that's at a 4% rate. That's not even at the 5% rate. So if you were to change that to a 5% rate over 4, you're talking 150,000.
Right. Just wanted to clarify. It's not $1.20. Right.
Correct.
Okay. Madhu?
Yeah, I'm okay to increase the taxes. We need to pay our debt. You know, I want to mill tax. I'm talking about.
Okay. Vice Mayor? Yeah.
That's kind of not what we discussed about raising the tax. The purpose of raising the tax was to get this building done and set us in a positive direction. Oh, sorry, thank you, Martin. I'm not opposed to using the extra funds to pay down our debt, but I think that as a council that we set a plan in motion when we were elected that we wanted to move this town forward and set an example for all the blighted properties around us. And we have paid a significant amount of our debt down. And I think that we need to continue on the path that we set. Like I said, I'm not opposed to paying it down. And I think when all those other things come online, that's going to happen faster and the taxes will come down. So I say we advertise it, but I will not support it if it's for that.
Councilman Day.
Yes, sir. Connor, thank you very much for taking the idea and turning it into putting in some fine points on it. And I think we are definitely on the same page, and I agree that is the direction that we should go. So.
Okay. And of course, I get to add my thing. So as you hear, you have different opinions here. I agree with the Vice Mayor. We are now 3 terms into getting this thing as a reality. We started down Pardon me?
I said you and I.
Oh, yeah. So, correct. So, back in the day, I remember coming out of a closed session, and it was discussion at that time that there was a road that we were going down, that this would be the government center, and we pulled the police department out of the cookies and cream site right now and brought them down over to the Copper Cricket, and we tried to bring them and then again into this building at a cost of $400,000 or $500,000 to retrofit what we have now as our government center. So as we have those pictures, and I had staff give the different aerials of our existing building, it was our intent and goal to have a government center that looked something like a municipal center. And with that, as we went through the last 3 councils, we have fine-tuned it. We went to the engineering. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in the design work. And then as we went through a couple different town managers, we then scaled it back to where it basically is the new roof, the facade on the outside. But there are a lot of inside features of having a one entrance to either the right to the police department or the left to Town Hall. Very little work was done inside to the dais area. It was more design work for the handicap, redoing the bathrooms, adding a restroom for the police department. And so with that, we spent it even further. Last year, we all agreed that here's a design plan. This is what we're looking for. It was vetted through the Planning Commission, through the ARB. We went out for proposal. We got first round, we didn't get what we needed. The net just had one proposal, and we weren't comfortable with that. So in the fall, late winter last year, we sent the proposal out again, and I think we finally netted at least 2 good comparable to proposals that said this is what it truly will cost, because we wouldn't really know if we could afford it until we get a number on how much it is. So we've put the investment in the drawings. We put the investment in the time into getting this where we would like to. Now we just have to figure out, obviously, how to fund it and sustain that payment. Just like they took a vision some 10-plus years ago when they spent $1.25 million to buy this site, which included the museum, which included all the buildings here, the 4 buildings, yes, and then also spent another $1.25 million to buy the park. So that $2.5 million debt, as we continue to pay it off, I think there's nobody that would take on these type of projects without borrowing the money to be able to think that this would probably be at least an aggressive, what I would think, 10-year program, but less aggressive, maybe a 15-year program. So at the time, Jerry had came up with a plan of how we could either borrow the money and actually pay this back, which that was in our packet, I think, 2 meetings before. With that, and without all that said, we're here at the Y in the road. To me, I would love to be able to see that this project, from what we have 6+ years in the making, finally to be able to push it across the finish line, and how we could do it is the people that are come visiting our town and dining at all our restaurants and eating that prepared meals, by just taking that 1% or that 1 cent on the dollar to add to that 4%, this would be that opportunity that I think we could do both. I'm hoping to come back to you, Councilman Leake, and be able to show you that, can we actually fund this new debt that we would go into, that I would think would be at least a 10 or 15-year program, do that and reduce the real estate tax to wipe that out totally. Me and the treasurer had a conversation with the treasurer, town clerk of Washington, Virginia. If anybody's been to the Inn of Little Washington and dined or spent the night there, their meals and their occupancy tax actually pays it so the residents there that live in the town actually pay no additional real estate. They only pay it to the county. So I think there are ways of making this work, and I'm definitely going to be looking to come up with ideas for our next meeting to show where we can maybe have it all, to where we can finally get this building done, start with the payments on there. We have about $250,000 that we've kind of earmarked $200,000 on this next budget for the building. another 50,000 for blight that we might be able to use. So maybe if we did take our proposals were around 900, so even at $1 million, that's about $750,000 in debt. But as we see, the numbers coming in from the meals will continue always to go up. If you remember, we'll go on a little bit further. So if you remember correctly, Jerry was the town manager of Middleburg when Salamanders came in place. And they had all this opposition of, no, this isn't going to be good, this isn't going to be good. But ask those same people today, and they will see how those 2 nights, I think he said, were packed full. There wasn't probably any positive of this project going in, has now been a benefit to the town. And I sort of see this as the same way, that I'd love to be able to see it decreasing. And then as those additional revenues come in, then draw it back from 5 back down to 4, and yeah. So it's a different way of thinking. I appreciate, Robert, your idea to come up with this, and then maybe we dovetail on it. So with that, I guess if there's any further discussion or comments, otherwise we'll see if we have a consensus for this vote.
I move the Haymarket Town Council direct the clerk to advertise a public hearing to be held on the 1% meals tax increase on May 21st, 2019 at 7 p.m.
I second.
Any discussion?
That day still works with everybody, because that's not a regularly scheduled meeting. We spoke about it.
Right on my calendar.
Yep,
We
it's on my
spoke about
calendar.
it at the last meeting. Just want to make sure that nothing is added or changed on anybody's schedule.
Thank you, sir.
Should we have a roll call vote?
Shannon?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Edwards? Yes. Day.
Yes.
All right. Okay. See, our next item is our updates. Our Planning Commission update?
Yes, sir. We had a rather short meeting, but a good meeting. We started out with a work session where we walked to the park to look at the on options of the playground and so on and so forth. Then we came back down, we adjourned, and then we had our call to order for the regular Planning Commission meeting. We had public hearing process. We had a public hearing, which we had several individuals speaking. We talked about a little bit about the SUP for Jefferson Street here, 6604 and 6608 Jefferson Street. We had some input on that, talked about that a little bit. And the agenda items were the Crossroads Village, the center final site plan review. Melodon was here. We talked about that. And then the Haymarket Diner site plan. I don't believe the owner was here, but we talked about that. And that's the one right down by the railroad track there. And for the O business, we talked about the McDonald's site plan review. I call it the Councilman Day plan, which we adopted that, didn't we? And we voted on that. So it was a rather quick meeting, but meaningful meeting.
Okay. And then we have an ARB update, but Ms. Bond's not here, but maybe if there's anything you want to share for that meeting.
So we had another busy agenda. Chick-fil-A came. They are going to be putting in canopies over the drive-thru, very similar to Gainesville, just not as many. These will go where you order and then also where the window is for the runners to give food, so it can help their employees stay safe and protected. We also had Mariah's wine tasting room come. They have a couple more items to kind of check off their list for their design features, and then we expect an approval at our next meeting for them. We also had a couple typical applications for residences wanting to put in pergolas, things like that, in their yards, and that was about everything. Very brief meeting. Any questions?
Okay.
member time?
Yes, so we have council member time, and we have our first, Steve Shannon.
I always give kudos to our great police department, and so I said some stuff earlier, and so nothing's changed with my opinion of our police department. They're the top of the line. And I enjoy serving on this dais with you all. So I'll keep mine short tonight, but I just appreciate what everybody puts out, and for Mr. McGill, too, willing to step up to help us out. So thank you, sir. That's all I have tonight.
Okay. Councilman Leak.
Thank you, Mayor. Madam Mayor, thank you for coming out this evening and presiding as mayor and chairman over our meeting. I greatly appreciate your maturity and your leadership this evening, and well put letter that you wrote for that paper, and everything was well put, and I love that you're getting involved this young, as I probably am the youngest at the dais here this evening, and but I hope that you have a career in politics if it's something that you look forward to and you want to do. Ms. Meg, thank you so much for your event that you brought to the town. I was so happy when the QBE Foundation and ODMR got together and stated that they wanted to move it to town. I think that's such an awesome event, and for such an amazing cause. As Councilman Shannon stated, we're so proud of our police department, but we're so proud of all the police departments out there and all the first responders that put their lives on the line for us on a daily basis. And we're just so grateful for them. None of us really wake up and go to work and have the chance to actually get injured or die in our line of duty, but these men and women do it on a daily basis. Every time that alarm clock goes off and they put on that bulletproof vest, that's just not part of our attire for our wardrobe, but they do that on a daily basis. So just kudos, Chief, and our department, as well as our surrounding departments that we have such great relationships with. And then, Mr. McGill, thank you so much for stepping up and putting your name in the ring. A lot of folks, it's easy for them to come to meetings and go up to the podium and throw rocks and say mean things or say nice things. But to actually be able to willing to serve as a public servant, it shows someone's character, and just so grateful that you threw your name in, and we're going to be honored to have you as part of the town and on one of our boards. No further, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Banty.
Yes, just congratulations, you win the essay competition, and keep it up, and good job.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
I'm so glad she was here tonight, because my other female person was not here
Yeah.
tonight. I feel outnumbered so many times. So I'm glad she was here. It was a great essay.
Thank you.
We're so proud that for many years we've had such a hard time getting people to participate, and that not only did she participate, but she won.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. So it's great. I hope you keep going with your community involvement, if it's at a political level or just public, community service. It's great. Gives you a good feeling. Don't let people, discourage you. Also, Meg, thank you so much for all that hard work. It was a great event. Sean Landry is a good addition to this town. He's a good partner to have in things, and when you want something to happen, you just go to him and you can just see the wheels turning, and I'm sure he already has 1,000 ideas for next year. Right? So thank you for all you do for the families of the fallen. This is I enjoy Steve, like Steve said, it's not always easy to sit in this seat, but, at the end of the day, we do what we think is the best, and that's all we can do, so.
Councilman Day.
I actually want to thank you for being here tonight, and perhaps since you've done such a great job tonight, we can fight you back next month if you like. That's all I have to say.
And I think we will. I found the part in our charter is to provide for the care, support, and maintenance of children, of the sick, aged, insane, and poor persons and paupers. So we're going to use that to, I think, we'll call, hopefully take this to the next level. I can only imagine the work that you did. I could see it in the background, but thank you for what you do and all the people that surround you to make that possible. Because as we saw, it takes but it takes one person's idea and thought, and then to organize it and to make it actually happen. I remember looking at that day just to look and see what officer has fallen, and and there was one the day before the event. So it's each day someone loses their life to help protect and serve. So awesome event, and there again, probably the safest day in Haymarket, I think we could proclaim. Miss Lily, wow, all I can say is you did an awesome job. This is exactly what it's about. I think of Daniel there. It was me that was asked, hey, can you help out? I need for you to help. It's this thing called a town council. It's sort of like an HOA, but it's to the next level of an HOA. And so where we volunteer our time, this is definitely it, to helping out a community. I would never thought that, number one, that we would have been elected, me and Susan. We sat and we waited till the votes were counted, and it was like, wow, we're elected. And to see this journey go through and then become mayor, I would have never in a million years thought I'd be sitting at this dais and addressing everyone that's listening. But it is a humbling experience, and it's the people that we help. It's not always going to be pretty, but I tell you what, it's nights like tonight that infuse me, that will give me, the stamina and to go forward and to just make it through some of the unpleasantness that we have to sit there and endure and say thank you for your comment or thank you for your email. But yeah, so I said with that, your closing thoughts.
I just wanted to say really
Sure.
quick, I forgot to say something to Lily's parents.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and thanks.
It's a great feeling to see that your kids grow up into good people,
Mm.
right? And she is a direct reflection of the home
Absolutely.
that she was raised in, so
No,
thank you.
and they're good. Thanks for
Sorry, I
bringing that.
forgot that.
No, absolutely, yes. So any closing thoughts for you? This is your chance to be able to say whatever you feel.
I guess just thank you all for letting me have this experience and inviting me to come and share this night with you. So it has been really fun.
Good.
A good experience. to come.
Well, my hope was to take it to the next level. It was beyond just a presentation and a check that you won an essay, but to really experience this firsthand. To be able to go home and you have your own gavel now. To be able to
Sorry
put any
about that.
brothers or sisters in check or anything. Just remember our speed limit is still 25 going through town. You can remind your parents of that, even though you know the chief of the police now, and you can say you're the mayor, but yeah, that usually doesn't cut very much if you're speeding. The law is the law, but yeah, so, thank you. I mean, yeah, so with that, we have what we refer to as the most important motion of the night, and that is the
The motion to adjourn.
adjourn. That's right, the motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right. Yep, no one's opposed,
No
that's
one's
right.
ever opposed.
All right, there again, thank you all, thank you very much.